close our eyes. Maybe spread the sit bones out just a little bit. Soften the knees. We're just going to take a few breaths in. Start to reconnect to the body. Settling into our present state, the present moment. And as we start to breathe, we're going to draw in a little bit more breath through the belly, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Good. Just allowing gravity to soften the muscles downward and feeling the support of your mat and of the ground beneath you. Good. And we're going to bring our attention to the tops of the head, right on the crown. And as we inhale, we'll draw the breath in through the top, bringing it down through the face, relaxing the eyes. Softening the cheekbones and the jawline. Allowing the tongue to release its tension. And we'll soften the neck muscles down, drawing that breath over the shoulders, down through the rib cage. Softening the belly and the hip joints, the pelvis. Allowing the thighs to soften, the knees all the way down to the toes. Trying to erase our tension from the top to the bottom, becoming neutral with our surroundings. Cleaning the slate, setting the intention for the rest of the day, for our practice. While we're here releasing tension, maybe we can bring something to mind that we'd like to shift or manifest in our lives, big or small. It could be physical body related or something of the mind, something we'd like to see change in our lives. We're going to dedicate our practice to that. Let's take a few more moments here, just holding that thought in our minds, continuing to soften the body. We're going to take one more deep inhale here through the nose and exhale out through the mouth, just letting everything go. Good. When we're ready, taking our time, we're going to slowly open the eyes. And we're going to roll onto all fours, spreading the hands wide. Tucking those toes underneath, seeing if we can press equally into the hands and feet to create some spinal control. And on your inhale, we're going to look up, drop the belly for our cat-cow. And on the exhale, drop the chin, press the spine to the sky. And we'll go at our own pace here. Opening up the belly, the ribs, the heart. Good. Good. Starting to build some fire in that spine. When we're ready, we'll gradually come back to neutral. From here, we're going to look left over the shoulder and behind us. And switching sides, stretching out that rib cage. We're ready, coming back to neutral. We're going to keep those toes tucked. We're going to slide those hands back and we're going to come up onto our feet. You can have the heels down if you'd like, or you can stay right on the balls here. Lengthening the spine. We're going to rock forward and back, starting to open up those hips. Waking up the ankles as well. Rocking as far back as we can. If we'd like to circle those knees out and around, we can do so. When we're ready, on the next inhale, let's drop those heels. We're going to slowly straighten the knees and find our forward fold. Allowing the head to really drop down, looking between the knees, letting our arms hang nice and heavy. Good. We can always add movement if our body asks, so we can rock side to side. Bend and straighten the legs, whatever you need today. Slowly, we're going to soften the knees just a little bit, and we're going to stand up nice and slow, stacking the spine, one on top of the other. Coming up all the way to our mountain pose. Nice and strong here, bringing in the belly button to the spine, giving a little heat to our legs, finding some power. On the inhale, softening the knees, sweeping the arms up overhead, and exhale, fold. Inhale, lifting up to flat back, and exhale down. We're going to walk those hands to high plank, slowly lowering to the belly. Inhale to upward dog. And exhale, tucking those toes, pressing our hips back to downward dog. Again, adding movement wherever we need to. Finding some pressure in our fingers and toes equally. Next inhale, let's look up between those hands. We're going to take a little walk, find ourselves right between them and forward fold. Seeing if we can raise our sit bones, raise the tailbone up to the sky, lengthening the backs of our legs. On the inhale, flattening our back, lifting up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, we're going to sweep the arms all the way overhead, reaching, looking at those thumbs. And exhale, we're going to bring those hands to heart center. Finding a nice strong stance here. Maybe adding a little pressure into the palms, creating a little heat in the shoulders. And on our next inhale, softening the knees, sweeping the arms up overhead. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lift to flat back. And exhale, down, planting those hands. We're going to flow through Chaturanga, all the way, meeting in downward dog. And taking our time, being nice and deliberate. Finding our breath pattern, reconnecting. On our next inhale, looking up to the hands, we can walk or jump between them, finding our forward fold. On your next inhale, lifting to flat back, and exhale down. Inhale, sweeping those arms all the way up to the sky, and exhale to heart center. Starting to fuel that fire. If we practice with our locks, you can also do that now. So lifting that pelvic floor up into the belly. Good. On our next inhale, let's go ahead and bend the knees. We're going to send those hips all the way back as far as we can. We can keep our arms at heart center, or we can lift them, reaching forward for chair pose. If we need a little challenge today, we can try to lift those toes off the floor. Good. On our next inhale, straightening those knees, reaching for the sky. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lift to flat back. And exhale, down, planting those hands. We can jump or step back to high plank. Flowing through Chaturanga. And meeting in downward dog. Flow a little bit more intense now. So when we're ready, inhale, look up to the hands. We're going to jump or step between them, finding our forward fold. Inhale, we're going to lift our flat back, and exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up overhead, and exhale, heart center. Good. Taking our time, sending those hips back. We're going to find our chair pose once more, this time keeping our hands at heart center. On your next exhale, we're going to rotate to the left, bringing that right elbow to the outside of our legs. Starting to wring out the spine, finding some comfort in our twist. On our next exhale, we're going to unwind ourselves, reach up to the sky, and exhale to heart center. Taking a moment, feeling our heartbeat. Good. On our next inhale, we're going to sweep those arms up one more time. And on the exhale, softening those hips, pressing them back. This time we're going to rotate to the right, bringing that left elbow to the outside. Let's take one more deep breath in. And on your exhale, we're going to unwind, reach for the sky. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lift to flat back. And exhale, down. We'll plant those hands, jump or step back to high plank. Float down to the belly. Inhale to upward dog. And exhale, press those hips back for downward dog. Very nice. Checking back in with our bodies, with our breath pattern. Taking note of any sensations we're feeling now. Being an active observer of the body and of the mind. On our next inhale, we're going to take our right leg, pointing those toes, we're going to lift up all the way back for three-legged dog. Squeezing the glutes, lifting a little bit higher if it feels good today. Good, and on your exhale, bringing that knee in towards the chest, and we'll place that foot between the hands, finding our runner's lunge. Good. Once we're here, we'll try to straighten the spine, lowering into that left hip. Beautiful. Good. From here, let's place that left hand down all the way, lifting the right arm up for a nice twist. Good. On our next exhale, let's bring that arm down. We're going to drop that left knee, coming up into a lunge here. You can untuck the toes on the back feet if you like. We can stay here, we can lean right into that hip again. This is perfectly good here. If you want to add a little bit more, you can reach around with your right hand, grab that left foot. Breathing into all those spaces that need a little bit more work, or that maybe just want a little love today. Let's take one more deep breath in, straightening that spine. And on the exhale, we'll unwind ourselves, come back to that runner's lunge. And from here, we'll place the left foot down at an angle and sweep the arms up for warrior one. Good. Seeing if we can soften those shoulders down the spine, sinking a little bit lower into the legs if it feels good today. next exhale, let's sweep those arms open into Warrior Two. We can keep the palms up or down as long as we're sending energy through, expanding our collarbones. Good. Dropping that left arm down to the thigh. We're going to reach the right arm over for Reverse Warrior. Really drawing your breath up through that right side. On your exhale, we'll sweep back to center. We'll pass through Warrior Two, drop the right arm down, and left arm over for side angle. Good. Breathing from the fingers all the way through the line to the toes. Finding some expansiveness in our body. When we're ready, on our next inhale, we're going to sweep back to Warrior Two. We can straighten that right leg all the way, shake it out if it needs a little break. And from here, we can reach out as far as we can with the right arm and down for our triangle pose. We can grab anywhere on that leg or the mat, as long as we attempt to rotate our chest up to the sky. One more deep breath in here. On your exhale, we're going to drop that left arm down. We're going to plant both of those hands, step that right foot back to high plank, lower down to the belly, inhale, upward dog, and exhale, meeting in downward dog. Good, taking your time here, taking a moment for ourselves. If you'd like to go to Child's Pose, you're more than welcome to as well. Take a little break. Whatever your body feels today. On our next inhale, let's lift that left leg up, pointing the toes if we can, finding our three-legged dog. Actively sending energy out through the toes and the heel. And on your next exhale, bringing that knee into the chest, we'll drop that foot down, finding our runner's lunge. Good. Once we're settled here, see if we can sink into that right hip, straighten that spine, and look out into the bright, shiny future. From here, let's plant that right arm down, right hand spread apart, and we're going to inhale the left arm all the way up, finding a spinal twist. If it feels good, we can look up towards those fingers for an extra stretch. And on our next exhale, let's bring both arms back down to the mat. We're going to drop that right knee and come up. See if we can untuck those toes on the back leg. And we can stay here. We can lean into that hip if we'd like. If we want a little extra credit, we can take the left hand, reach around, grab that foot. With every inhale, seeing if we can straighten our spine more. And every exhale, sinking into that hip a little bit. One more deep breath here. And on our exhale, we're going to unwind, plant both hands back down on the mat. We're going to drop that right foot down and press ourselves up to warrior one. Good. Reaching up, stretching the belly forward, having a nice little arch in the back, and back to neutral. Nice. Allowing our shoulders to relax down away from those ears. And when we're ready, let's sweep the arms open to warrior two. Palms up or down, whatever you're feeling today. Opening that collarbone. Widening the shoulder blades. On your next exhale, let's drop that right arm down. We're going to reach the left arm over for reverse warrior. Breathe into those lungs all the way down to the bottom. And on your exhale, we're going to pass through warrior two and drop that left arm down, right arm overhead. Seeing if we can rotate our chest up towards the sky, finding a nice long line. Good. When we're ready, on our next inhale, let's sweep those arms back to warrior two. We're going to straighten that left leg out, shake them out if you need to. And from here, we're going to reach that left arm forward all the way and down for our triangle pose. Grabbing wherever we need to make it comfortable. Finding some strength through our stillness. next exhale, let's go ahead and drop that right arm down. We're going to place both hands on our mat, sweep that left leg back, and we can go to downward dog or child's pose, whatever we're feeling today. Checking in with our body, taking note of our sensations. Perhaps checking in with that mantra as well at the beginning of class. Good. From here, we're going to see if we can bend our knees all the way, bring our hips all the way back, and we'll attempt to jump through to a seated position. So we'll jump and bring our feet all the way in the front. Very nice. So from here, let's see if we can flatten the legs all the way down. We'll tuck our toes back towards our face. See if we can lengthen the spine, bring the crown up and out. We'll take a few breaths here. Actively engaging those legs, very powerful pose here. On our next inhale, let's sweep the arms up. We're going to look between the thumbs, keeping our legs engaged. And on the exhale, we're going to slowly come forward. We're going to try to keep our spine straight for this one, so we may not get very far. We want to press those hips back as well, so we get a nice long line. From here, on your next exhale, we'll go ahead and curl the spine this time. Attempting to look at the knees or bringing nose to knees. Still filling up our lungs as deep as we can, even though we're curled over. When we're ready, let's slowly bring ourselves back to seated. Now from here, we're going to take our hands, spread them wide, and we'll place them right behind us. We're going to go into a reverse plank, so we want to point those toes, press into the hands. When we're ready, we'll lift up the pelvis, creating a straight line, seeing if we can engage those shoulder blades. Creating energy from the heels all the way up to the shoulders. Good. One more deep breath in. And exhale. We're going to slowly lower back down. And we can just hug the knees into the chest here, giving ourselves a moment. Can rock side to side. Good. Checking in with our bodies. And when we're ready from here, we're going to take either the knees on top or we can go underneath, whatever feels good. We're going to slightly lean back so that we can lift those toes up. We want to attempt to get the calves parallel if we can. rest right here. If you need a little bit more, you can release the arms. If you really want to push yourself, you can totally straighten those knees. Get those abs engaged. Good. One more deep breath here. And exhale, we're going to allow ourselves to flatten. Very nice. Let's go ahead and keep those knees upwards. And we're going to roll onto our backs here. Good. We're going to stay here for a moment. Just allow gravity to soften your muscles again. Maybe some back cracklings going on. If it feels good, we can take our attention to the tops of our heads again and do a little body awareness scan. Going down through the face, noticing any tight muscles or jaws, softening everything there. Moving down through the neck and over the chest. Letting the body release all the muscles in our whole torso. Softening the belly, the hips, the legs. Actively relaxing every cell in our body. Starting to cool ourselves down from the practice. Feeling our heartbeat and our blood flow. Acknowledging our present moment. And taking our time, we're going to reach our hands down and grab our kneecaps. We're going to hug our knees into the chest. We can rock side to side here, massaging our back. And from here, let's take that left foot. If we can grab the toe, that's awesome. Otherwise, we can grab the ankle or the calf. And from here, we'll let the right leg fall nice and flat. And we'll try to bring that left leg towards our face, towards the nose. You can experiment with either flexing or pointing the feet. Maybe doing a little bit of both. And very slowly and gently, let's take that leg and we're going to allow it to fall to the side, keeping both hips on the floor as much as we can. And then we'll take our head and we'll look the opposite direction. when we're ready, let's take that foot, we'll bring it all the way back up to center. Now this time we're going to allow the same left leg to bend at the knee. We'll grab the outside and we're going to let it fold over to the right side. This time we can keep both shoulders on our mats and look to the left. Very nice. Breathing some space between the vertebrae, wringing out the organs. And slow, we're going to bring that leg back to neutral. We can let that left leg fall flat and we'll take the right leg, bring it all the way up. We can flex it or point it. See if we can bring it into the face. Good, feeling that energy shooting up and out, engaging that leg. And when we're ready, we're going to allow that leg to fall over to the right side. You can bend it or straighten it, whatever feels good for you. And we can look over to the left. Slowly but surely we'll bring that foot back to center. This time we'll bend the knee and we'll grab the outside and bring it to the left. We can allow our eyes to look over that right shoulder. When we're ready, let's slowly bring that leg back to center. We're going to hug both knees into chest one more time. Adding any movement that we'd like. From here, let's see if we can grab both of our big toes with our peace fingers. Keeping those knees bent, we're going to come up into happy baby. Allowing the soles of the feet to go up to the sky. It's impossible to be angry in this pose. It's always a good one during times of stress. From here, adding any last bits of stretching or moving that we need to do before we come to our final pose today. You can straighten the legs, make some circles, whatever you need to do. And when we're ready, taking our time, We're going to let those legs float down and we'll find our Shavasana. So this is a time to let our bodies get nice and comfortable, taking a few moments of silence and stillness to integrate everything we did from practice today and to let any insights come through that we need to hear. Bring some life back to our bodies. We can wiggle our fingers and toes. Give ourselves a little shimmy, shake. Start to come back to the physical plane. And taking our time, we're going to roll onto our right side. Finding a nice comfortable position here. Knowing that in our practice or in our life we can always find this place of stillness as long as we remember how to breathe and remain aware and present to what our body tells us. And taking all the time that we need, we're going to slowly come back to a seated position. Thank you all so much for joining me in practice today. It was such a pleasure.